Hello, friends. Your old Uncle Andy here, the UC Panda himself, coming to you live on February 13th. And we hope everybody is having a great evening here on Valentine's Eve. We hope to give you some winning sports picks, and then you can take these profits we're going to give you tonight. You can take your honey out somewhere nice tomorrow. You can take her to the steakhouse. You don't have to settle for Carl's Jr. You take her to a nice place, buy her some flowers. So we've got the winners. So no NHL bets really. We do have a couple of hockey bets. NHL is on hiatus. Normally it would be the All-Star break, but they're having sort of a four teams tournament with players from the US, Canada, and I think Sweden and Finland, sort of in a little miniature round robin tournament. We did have Canada last night. Luckily, we didn't have them in regulation. The game went to overtime. Canada won in overtime. So sometimes people in hockey will bet for a team to win in regulation to sort of save on some of the chalk, save some of the juice, and those bets become losers if the game goes to overtime, which we saw last night. I'm in a similar situation tonight with Team USA. I do have one sort of big play, 10 units wrapped up in a winner with Team USA in regulation. I think they're going to win in regulation, but last night it did go into overtime between Canada and I think it was Sweden, and sort of that did surprise me. Same with the NBA. They are heading towards their All-Star break, so be leery of betting NBA, especially as we get more towards All-Star weekend. You really cannot tell what's going to happen, who's going to play, who's motivated, who's on load management, and who's already taking that flight to Tahiti for the long weekend. So just beware of that. Don't bet the farm on NBA. We certainly saw last weekend in NHL heading into their hiatus, into their All-Star break. Certainly some wacky results Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like we've been saying, scoring is down in the NHL, but you wouldn't have known it from this past weekend. A lot of people were getting ready to go on vacation. It was obvious, and they were not interested in putting a hat on a hat or laying a body into anybody else. So you saw a lot of goals both Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all 3 days. I bet if we went and looked at it, the average goals per game over this past weekend for NHL probably would beat any 3 day stretch we've saw the whole season. So keep on following us over at Uncle Andy Sports on Twitter for all the winners. We posted everything here, and certainly we'll be posting plays tomorrow. Don't know if we'll have time in all the Valentine's revelry tomorrow to make a video, but certainly hit us up over on Twitter, and we're going to give you some more winners. As mentioned, we do have about 10 units on a free roll wrapped up in USA Hockey just to win in regulation tonight. I believe they will, but it should be a good game. We've got another free roll, and we're going to use that on Bryant, Eastern Kentucky, North Alabama, and App State. Put them all together. It's a plus 130. So we should hopefully prevail in this. We are on Jacksonville State plus 2.5, also with Bryant and EKU. I think the wrong team's favorite here on the road. Jackson State heading down to take on Stonehill, I believe it is Stonehill. And I think they are going to win the game outright. I think you would be very justified to go ahead and sprinkle on the money line and take Jacksonville State. But listen to this. Jacksonville State is 7-3 this year against the spread in away games. They are on an 8 game winning streak. Also, they're facing a team tonight that has lost 7 straight. So Jacksonville State all the way this evening. We're going to go ahead and go over 141.5 in the Florida Gulf Coast and Austin Peay game. These last two meetings between these squads have gone over. I think the game's going to land above 150 points. Another reason I'm going to take the over in this game, only 6 times this year for Florida Gulf Coast has a total in one of their ball games ended up under 141 points. And most of those were way back in November when these teams are being put together for the first time, trying to figure out exactly what their identity is. So over all the way in this game between Florida Gulf Coast and Austin Peay. Same thing, we're going to take over in Drexel Hampton and hook that up with Team USA. I do think this game is going to go over these two teams. The last 3 matchups between them have gone over, including one played this year. And I have the game going over 140 points. So overall the way. I have Canada and Finland. That's not, I believe, until Monday, as a matter of fact. but I do like Georgia State to win the ball game, and I also like Georgia Southern plus the 6.5 at plus 109. So we're a little Georgia crazy here. Georgia Southern has covered the last three contests between themselves and James Madison. And I do think Georgia Southern could win the game outright. That wouldn't surprise me one bit either. And I do love Georgia State at home. I think you'd be okay to go ahead and lay the 4 points with Georgia State against Old Dominion if that's what you wanted to do as well. But I went ahead and hooked it up with Canada, playing Finland Monday to kind of get it up over into a plus money payout. Like College of Charleston tonight, along with Team USA. I do like them against UNC Wilmington. UNC Wilmington has let me down a few times, and I think Wilmington's going to win the ball game, but I do like the 10.5 points with Charleston. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And we're going to go ahead and take Bryant in Eastern Kentucky, hook them up with Binghamton plus 5.5. That line is now down to 4. I bet that this morning at 5.5. The line is now down to 4, may bleed out even further. So what that tells you is those are your professional bettors. Those are the people who do this for a living. They've been betting Binghamton all day. And so these are the people who know what they're doing. The public is not betting at lunchtime on a Thursday afternoon, Binghamton plus 5.5 against Baltimore, Maryland County, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, whatever they call themselves, the Retrievers. So the professional money's on our side, and I do feel pretty good about it. I also feel pretty good about it because Binghamton this year is 7-6 against the number as a road team. They are 13-7 as an underdog, and they're 7-3 against the number in conference play. Flip that around for BMC. They are 3-7 ATS at home. They're 3-6 as a favorite, and they're 3-7 in conference play. Also in this, Binghamton has covered 3 of the last 4 games in this series, and Maryland, Baltimore County has lost their last 4 games. So we'll take Binghamton all the way. Wouldn't be surprised if Binghamton won the ball game. We're going to go ahead and take Longwood and High Point over 153.5 points. The last 4 games these two have played, 3 of the contests have gone over. They're a combined 28 and 18 to the over this year, these two teams. And in conference play, they are 14-7 combined to the over. So we're going to go ahead and take over with them. And lastly, but not least of all, we're going to take Nebraska Omaha and the 10.5 points. I think that's too many points. I don't think Nebraska is going to win, but I do like them in the points. So that's all for me. We hope you get all these bets in. We wanted to post the video early before dinner so you could go ahead and get some of these 6 p.m. games bet, get them on the books. Tune in tomorrow and see us over on Twitter. We're going to probably have some more plays to post. But until then, if you tail us to the window, we will cash tickets together. Everybody have a good evening.